Good morning. This is John from the Springs Mennonite Church. It's good to be with you. It's a Thursday. Week is moving along. Pretty soon we'll be down to the weekend. So I hope you've had a good day so far. Hope you've had a good week. I want to continue talking about the good news and encouraging words from the Gospel of John. Today I want to talk about John chapter 4 and verses 7 through 10. And here's what we find. Soon a Samaritan woman came to draw water. And Jesus said to her, "Please give me a drink." He was alone at the time because his disciples had gone into the village to buy some food. The woman was surprised, for Jews refused to have anything to do with Samaritans. She said to Jesus, "You are a Jew, and I am a Samaritan woman. Why are you asking me for a drink?" Jesus replied, "If you only knew the gift God has for you and who you are speaking to, you would ask me, and I would give you living water." This is a story in the Bible about Jesus and a woman, not just any woman, a woman from the most disgusted, hated group of people that the Jews knew of, except for the Romans. The Samaritans were people that you just didn't talk to. Now, where I grew up in the South, there was some of that with African Americans. You just didn't speak to them, according to what I was told. And of course, they didn't really speak to us because I guess that's what they were told. I, I don't know that. I was too young to think about it, but it was there. And so we find this encounter in this passage today. Jesus is thirsty. He asked her for a drink of water. And she was so surprised and so shocked that he would do that. Her first response to it was, "Why are you asking me? You're a Jew. I'm a Samaritan. You don't speak to me." She must have looked around and see if anybody was there, because she could get in big trouble for this. And of course, Jesus would be, he would be ostracized at the synagogue if anybody who knew that. And so Jesus says to her, let me read it again. If you only knew the gift God has for you. Let's stop right there. Jesus is telling her that she's important to God. She doesn't think so. And I doubt by the end of this story in the Bible, she ever did think so. Just too much baggage, too much history, too much harm, too hard to let go. If you only knew the gift that God has for you, Jesus says. In your case, if you only knew the gift that God has for you, not somebody else, you who are listening, whether you think you are very, very good at things or whether you think you're lousy, whether your life is just way up at the top, just motoring along like crazy, or way down here at the bottom, just trying to hang on to the next moment. God has a gift for you. Now, I don't know what that gift is particularly and specifically, but I know He has one. You're not left out. You count. You really count. So He says, if you only knew the gift that God has for you and with whom you're speaking. A lot of people don't know Jesus. He's just a word in a book, a picture on a wall, a relic from the past. But that's sad to say isn't who he is. He's alive. He's walking amongst us. He's ministering to us. He's forever our advocate to the Father. He's forever the one that we can call upon and know that he hears us. See, the good news is here, the words he speaks back. If you only knew the gift that God has for you and to whom you are speaking, then you would ask me for living water. See, the water that she's going to give Jesus is just physical water. It'll quench the thirst for a little while, and then you'll get thirsty again. But the living water that comes from God, all that lasts through everything, through time and troubles, difficulties, times of joy, times of excitement, times of sadness. Knowing that you're not alone, that this God who created all this around you is interested in you. That's some pretty good news. And you say, well, okay, that's good enough for you, but not for me. Well, why not? If it means something to me, that ought to tell you that it's something worthwhile. If it means something to all of these people through 2,000 years of history, that ought to tell you that it means something worthwhile. But don't take my word for it. Talk to others who love the Lord. Well, how do you know who they are? Oh, you'll see them. You can't miss them because they're full of the life and the joy that God gives us. See, today, the good news today is this Jesus, this God of the universe, comes to you and to me, and he brings us living water. If we only could grasp what that means, our lives would be unspeakably wonderful. So I want to ask you today, do you know who this Jesus is? Does he impact your life? If he does, fantastic. All right. But if he doesn't, why not give him a shot? What do you got to lose? It's just a word. It's just a name. But it's also more. It's the power of the living God at work in you. What do you think about that? Appreciate you giving me some of your time. If you have a need or a concern, give us a call. We'll do whatever we can as fast as we can to help meet your need. Thanks for listening. I'll talk to you again.